Manifesting Me. I write, talk about, and teach manifesting. I also have a book available for sale on Amazon.com. It's called The Pocket Guide to Manifesting, a great summer read. And I do one-on-one custom sessions to help you become a better, sharper manifester, to get more of what you want and less of what you don't. I've linked to that in the description box of the video if you're interested. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps other people in our community find it. Thank you. And subscribe if you want to know when new videos are posted. So it is the middle of summer here, 2021. We've made it to mid-August, and I've been doing all kinds of things and giving myself a whole lot of leeway to just relax. Ask anybody who knows me well, and they'll tell you that I have a real go, 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 go energy, and I can kind of be a little bit tightly wound, trying to always squeeze more things in, get some stuff done. And I was really, I just had to kind of cut myself some slack and not record videos for a couple weeks. I did try to record one video. I rewatched it. I was like, oh my gosh, it just was not resonating with me, for me, any of that. So I was like, no, we're just going to forget it. I'm not going to try to force a square peg into a round hole. I think that's good life advice anyway. Good feels good, bad feels bad. That did not feel good. So yeah, I'm happy to be in the middle of August. Imagine 8 months done with the year already. So I wanted to talk about how powerful we are. I think that is the undercurrent of every video that I've done, and all of the discussions I have around manifesting are really to help people remember, and even to remind myself, how powerful we are, how through thought and feeling we create the essence of our lives. And I had another great example happen to me. So I needed to go out of town for business, and the trip came up sort of suddenly. I had a couple people about 4 weeks ago ask me, oh, when's the next time you're going to have to travel for work? And I said, oh, I don't have anything planned. And the fact that two people asked me, it must have planted some seed, because 2 days after the last person asked me, I had a request, and they said, can you travel for a full week? So, in my mind, it wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do. I wasn't, chomping at the bit like, yes, I get to go do that. It was more like, I guess so. And I also knew that I needed to set an intention for how the trip was going to go, because if I had just gone into it with the attitude of, which I can certainly do, I call it like when I just knuckle under and get it done, right? But I kind of stepped back from that, and I said, I'm going to set an intention that the week goes a lot better than I would have necessarily anticipated, and it actually turned out pretty good. Like, I actually enjoy myself throughout the trip. And I didn't know how that was going to happen, because if I was looking just logically at the situation, I was going to be spending long days with people that I haven't necessarily felt like I've been in resonance with before. I'm sure any of you who work jobs with coworkers can relate to this on some level. And, I was going to be doing things that, my heart wasn't really fully in. So again, it was like, well, I'll go, and they're asking me to do it, so I'll do it. But I was like, no, it's going to be good. So I set this intention. And starting with, the very beginning of the trip, I actually had quite a few things. I usually, drive myself on these trips rather than flying or taking some other mode of transportation. And I will always say it's a lovely drive. It's about 8 hours. This particular, on my way into town, it actually took me about 9 hours and 45 minutes to get there. So that's almost an extra 2 hours over what it, should have or normally takes me. And what I just took from that was I kept getting slowed down. And I took the symbolism to say, just slow down. And again, my energy, or my natural, what I came into this world as far as like a drive, is to just go, go, go. It takes me quite a bit to relax fully. Years ago, working in advertising, I was maybe 24 years old, and I had somebody come up behind me and try to give me a little shoulder massage. And the person said, Megan, just relax your shoulders. I said, I am. I just kind of, naturally, I guess, I hold this tension, but it's this forward movement that I have within me. So anyway, so the messages of just slow down I took them. So sometimes it takes 1, 2, 3 repetitions for me to go, oh, that you guys want me to pay attention to something. But I did. So that was a message that was popping up. But then as the week progressed, it ended up being a phenomenal week. I enjoyed myself. All things considered, when I don't typically sleep very well when I travel, and, I was certainly feeling like I was tapped out physically during this trip, and yet my mind was happy. I was at peace. And when I got to the end of the trip, so physically I wasn't, feeling 100% because I was in a situation where I was around a lot of different energies and a lot of different vibrations. And despite doing everything that I normally do to kind of protect myself from energies I'm not used to, because I'm empathic, so I tend to absorb energies around me, I got a little bit off balance by the end of the week and knew that I needed to just really recharge my battery in a big, big way. So rather than spend one extra day, I kind of got out of Dodge a day early and started my trip back home. And it was funny how as soon as I made the decision to do that, I could feel all the balance coming back. So, good feels good, bad feels bad. I was choosing in direction of good in that situation. But I was really pleased. And that's just a reminder to all of us that going into something, even if we've done it 20 or 30 times before, and each of those times has been, a quote unquote bad experience, something that we wouldn't choose for ourselves ordinarily, we can go into it the next time and set the intention that it feels better. And lo and behold, when we set our intention like that and focus the energy, great stuff happens, and we'll actually experience the outcome that we're after. One other story that I will share in terms of just how, the universe is always listening to us. We are always affecting the world around us, our world, and what we create. I had been thinking for the past month and a half, how nice it would be to have Jim home a little bit more, because Jim's been working out of the house doing carpentry jobs for, going on 2.5 years now. And there was a point where we both worked at home together, and that was great. We got to spend more time together, and, it's a wonderful feeling. And then he took this job about 2.5 years ago, working out of the house. So I see him more of our time together as, at night or on the weekends. And part of me was saying, oh, wouldn't it be so nice if he had a job he loved and, all those wonderful things, was getting paid what he loved, on a schedule he loved, working with people he loved, all of that. But if we had more time together at home, relaxed time, doing what we love doing. And I actually got my wish for a short little window, and I wish I could get inside of Jim's head to know what he was thinking to manifest his experience of it. But ultimately what happened was he injured his back and actually couldn't physically go to work. And so he was home for almost a week. And so I got my wish of having more time with him. And again, I don't know what his manifestation was, or what was, going through his belief system that caused it to be a back injury, and, what his experience was. But anyway, he's better now and back at work. But I always just, giggle or grin thinking about how we truly are, just like with iPhones, how the iPhones seems like they're always listening to us. Even when you think you've got all the apps that use your microphone and camera turned off and they're not allowed to use it, you still get odd suggestions where you're like, how does my phone know that that's what I was talking to this person about yesterday in the car? So just like that, the universe is always listening to us. And the way it came to be, it was still, for me, it was a good and balanced way. Jim obviously was a little more uncomfortable with the situation. But the other thing is Jim is a very dedicated person, and if he makes a promise, he follows through. And so he felt quite badly about missing work, even though he appreciated that he got a little bit of respite and a little bit of time home to recuperate. he was nervous, just about the idea because he didn't have any vacation time or sick time. It was, just he'd be just straight up missing work, which meant missing some pay, some money in his paycheck. I wasn't worried about it, and the universe, on the last day that he was home, gifted us money that we were not expecting. It was something that came through from one of my job opportunities, and it happened to be an amount that would have been what he would have gotten paid during those days that he was out of work, and then some extra. And so it all balanced out. It ended up being, that part of it, it was something that we just didn't have to worry about, which was really nice. Again, he is feeling better now. So just be aware, look around, and, tap into what have you been manifesting. And sometimes people won't even put it together. Like sometimes we're not fully aware, we're not tapped in deep enough to say, oh, wait, I really did manifest that. Now I remember I was thinking about X, Y, and Z, and that thing happened, and oh my gosh. So, that again, those are things that either doing one-on-one sessions are good at uncovering, or, just becoming super aware that indeed we are the creators of our experience from start to finish. And they can be as great as we want them to be. So that's what I have for you right now. I hope you're all doing well. As always, I wish you happy manifesting. Again, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps other people in our community find it. I'm so glad you were here. And until next time, take care.